If you're watching this video, you probably have a service that you're currently or at least want to sell online. But the question is, where should you actually be selling it? Now, in this video, we're going to be addressing the major options available to you, and more specifically, we're going to be looking at high-price services, digital services, physical services, as in services where you have to actually be present to provide it, and we're also going to touch on creative services. Of course, we're going to be looking at it, taking in consideration the current state of the market online for that particular type of service. Now, of course, this is my favorite one. We're going to start with high price services. For this particular type of service, I'll be straight up with you, you're going to need a website. You see, to convince most people to part with large amounts of money, you're going to have to build a level of trust. And nothing does this better than showing them that you care enough about your business to create a dedicated online property to house it. And in addition to this, you will find that high-ticket services tend to require multiple interactions in order to close the deal. And nothing allows you to manage those interactions better than a website that you own, because you're able to customize the site to tailor the experience to your particular type of client. So, there's no way around it. High-ticket services will likely require you to have a website. Now, there's more to it, but I'll discuss that later down in the video. Alright, so let's discuss digital services. For these, outside of your own website, in my experience, the best places to sell these are on online freelance marketplaces. And specifically, the big dogs right now are Upwork and Fiverr. Now, a fair warning, the marketplace tends to lean towards low-cost providers on these platforms, because the majority of users, and by users I'm talking about the providers, they are actually from countries where the economic climate is fairly poor. So they are able to jump on them and provide a service at a much reduced rate and still live well in their own country. So if you're somebody who lives in a first world country or a country that, you experience higher prices than in most third world countries, you might find it challenging to make some money there. However, it's possible. I've seen it. Me personally, I live in Jamaica, and things are not super cheap, but they're not really expensive either. I actually got my start on these platforms. However, I started to notice that you were not able to charge over a certain amount for the kind of service I was provided. So of course I hopped off, and this was years ago. So I would say these platforms, Upwork and Fiverr, are the best places to sell digital services online. The links are in the description. Okie dokes, so let's talk about creative services now. And I know that earlier we discussed Upwork, and for those of you who are actually familiar with it, you actually can sell creative services on Upwork, but that's not really what people go there for. The best marketplaces right now to sell creative services are Fiverr and Etsy. And I'm going to discuss Etsy in a bit, because there are a few specific things you need to take into consideration on Etsy. These things do also happen on Fiverr, but the algorithm on Etsy is geared in a very specific way that you need to be aware of before you start listing your services. Now, on Etsy, there is a bias towards the length of time you've been on the platform. So what you find is that the results, the search results on Etsy, actually show users who have been around longer in favor to people who have just now joined. So if you're trying to list your service on Etsy, you have to take specific steps in order to make sure that people can actually see it. Now, here's what I suggest that you do. before you list your service on Etsy, browse through their listing to find people who are listing services similar to yours. Just type in exactly what somebody would have to type to discover your service. Look at other people who are offering that service and examine the way that they're offering it. What you're going to have to do is ensure that the way you're offering the service is differentiated from how they are doing it. You can either do this by changing the details of what exactly you're offering or the way that is presented and worded. Because as we all know, people tend to click on the first thing they see. They're not gonna scroll all the way down to find you unless your thing is particularly different from what other people are offering. This also applies to Fiverr as well, but that's less so how things seem to work. That's heavily review based. So the more positive reviews you get, the higher your ranking on Fiverr. But on Etsy, the length of time you've been there plays a big role. On these platforms, what you're going to have to do is create a packagized service. You're basically going to transform your service into a set package with a set of deliverables and a set price. That is how these platforms work. So no matter what you're doing, you're going to have to find a way to create it with a set price and a set of deliverables that make sense for the price that you're offering. So go on Etsy, go on Fiverr, check it out, browse their listings, and scope out your competition before listing your service. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys are actually providing physical services, meaning services like electrical work, like plumbing, landscaping, masonry, you know, things where you actually have to be present in order to execute. And for this, I'm going to introduce you guys to a very popular but simultaneously unknown service, which is kind of funny to me. This platform is called Amazon House Services, and it is a platform that gets millions and millions of people watching their listings every single month. Now, unfortunately, at this current point in time, their sign-up form is actually disabled. And this is a platform that you actually have to apply to get on. So you have to apply and they have to accept you in order to get your listing. That is how they're able to maintain a high quality of service provider on their platform. But I'm going to put the link in the description, and what I want you to do is just periodically check it, because at some point they are going to reopen the application process once they've finished their upgrades on the back end. And if you're one of the first people to get listed, there's a chance that you're going to be heavily promoted. And as I said before, this platform actually has millions of people watching. The catch with this one is that you have to be located in the US or a set of select countries in order for this platform to have any value to you. If you're located like me in Jamaica, listing on Amazon House Services really won't make any difference. So you're gonna need a website like I said earlier. Alright, so listing on these platforms, guys, can of course be really great for your business, especially if you happen to be one of the chosen ones who get heavily promoted from the start. This can accelerate your business 2, 3, 4, even 5 times. However, I want to give you a bonus tip. Actually, this is more of a bonus warning. You don't want to be in the position where the majority of your business is coming off of these platforms because you do not own them. Do something for me. After you finish watching this video, go to Google, go to Bing, and type in "I got kicked off of whatever platform." Put in Upwork, put in Fiverr, whatever the case may be. You're going to find thousands of cases, in fact, maybe tens of thousands of cases of people who have been kicked off for every reason under the sun. And you don't want to be one of those people. So make sure, even if you're finding a lot of success on these platforms, secure your own online property and protect the longevity of your business against these type of situations. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a like, and I want you to head to my digital business dojo. The link is in the description. I release content like this every single week. Another option for those of you who already have a website is to sign up for my website dojo newsletter. And what this is going to do is to help tune your mind to start viewing your website as an online business, and slowly over time you'll be able to transform it into a cash flow system. Okay, so like the video and I'll see you in the next one.